Yes, the iPad Pro 2021 has more layers with larger canvases in Procreate. I'll prove it. Tony here, we talk art and design tech. Subscribe for more. What is the best iPad Pro for an iPad Pro artist? In this video, we're going to be looking at the 2018 iPad Pro versus the 2021 M1 iPad Pro. And we're gonna see if you're better off keeping what you have or if it's time to upgrade. The 2018 iPad Pro comes priced at $600 to $800 on reselling platforms. It has the A12X Bionic chip. This one is the 256 gigabyte version. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now that does go up if you get the 1 terabyte to 6, I believe, for the 2018 model. And the 2021 iPad Pro starts at $1,099. It has the M1 chip, and this is a 1 terabyte model, which means that it has the 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is crazy. Both of these models are compatible with the second generation Apple Pencil. If we're just talking about specs, we definitely have the lead with the 2021 model, but let's see if that performance makes a difference. In this comparison, the 2021 will be on the right and the 2018 will be on the left. The first thing that I want to do is to boot both of these up. I want to see who's going to win. Just first impressions, I'm going to assume that the 2021, because it's higher spec, will land first, but by my surprise is I see the 2018 actually is showing the Apple logo first. So let's see which one actually boots all the way up first. And drum roll, we got the 2021 actually having the lead here, which by no surprise, because of its higher spec performance, it should have won. I want to open Procreate and see which one lands first. And again, the 2021 performs on top with it opening up the app first. Not a vast difference, but it is opening up first. Now I want to do an airdrop test and send a file from the 2021 to the 2018 model. I want to see if there is actually a difference in the speed, and I feel like it's pretty quick responsive and it sends it immediately, which is nice. Part of that is due to the fact that the devices are right beside each other. Let's see what the 2018 is able to do in comparison. So I'm just going to airdrop it, click the device that I'm airdropping to, and see how it lands. And it's pretty instantaneous again. When I do this side-by-side comparison of the colors, I notice that the colors do look different. On the 2021 model, it's like vibrant and clear, and with the 2018 model, for some reason, I see a little bit of an orange added on top of the colors, which gives it a little bit of a tint, and I don't know why exactly that is, but I do notice that to be a factor. I took 2 other pieces of mine, and I wanted to compare these, and I don't see any difference here with the colors. They actually look the exact same on both monitors. I think I have it to max brightness and the colors look true. They look vibrant, exactly the same on both monitors. Now, if you're an artist that uses Procreate often, this is the part that you're waiting for. With 1000 pixel by 1000 pixel images at 300 DPI, I see that it's at 250 layers on the 2018 iPad Pro. And the same exact specs are true, 250 layers, again, 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels on both devices. So I want to take it even higher. Let's take it to 2000 on the 2018 by 2000, and then 2000 by 2000 again on the 2021 model. And let's see if there is a difference here. So I have 130 layers with the 2018 model. Let's see if the 2021 has more layers. So with the 2021, it's 205 layers. So we can already see that it's beginning to show that there are more layers on the 2021 model. And one thing I think is interesting as well is you can see the difference with the blacks here as well. One screen looks grayer and the other screen you can see that true black. So with 3000 by 3000 pixels at 300 DPI, we have 55 layers on the 2018 model. And let's see what we have with 3000 by 3000 pixels we have 89 layers. .300 DPI is pretty much the standard when it comes to printing. So you can find really high resolution outcomes with your images. You can take it to 400 if that's something that you want to do as well, but just know that this is the norm for most printing needs. So 4000 by 4000, we have 29 layers on the 2018 iPad Pro. Let's see what we get on the 2021 iPad Pro. We have 48 layers. So again, we're seeing it's almost double again constantly, that the 2021 is outperforming. It's giving us more layers. It's giving us more ability to create more detailed work, which is exciting, especially with that 16 gigabytes of RAM. And this is without Procreate really being spec'd to get the most out of the performance here. Now with a 5000 by 5000 pixel image, we have 17 layers available. Let's see what we get with the 2021 iPad Pro. So we have about 29 layers, and that's a pretty good amount from 17. So you can already see that there's a difference here. It's a noticeable difference in performance between the two devices. I'm gonna, just for the sake of doing it, try 6000 by 6000. I know I've heard artists say that they use canvases at this size. I don't personally, but in the event that I want to, I do have the ability to, and let's see what it comes to here. So I have 10 layers available if I'm going to do a 6000 by 6000 pixel image. And that is with the 2018 model. Let's see what the 2021 has. So I'm at about 19. So I had 10 on the previous device, almost 20 here. Again, double the layers. 2021 definitely wins this one, and I'm glad to say that you will get more layers on larger canvases with the 2021 model. Let's look at this grayscale example and see if there's any differences here. First impressions, I see that the 2021, it has a very cool feeling to it, where the 2018 has a warmer feeling to it. Somehow the grays are translating different, where it's completely shifting the colors, where one is looking like a warm gray and the other is looking like a cool gray. I don't know exactly what this difference is and why it's happening this way, but I do notice it. The 2021 colors, the red looks more like a magenta, and the 2018 colors, the red looks more orange. In this other comparison, I feel like the highlights on the 2021 model come through a little bit more than they do on the 2018 model. Where the 2018, it looks more saturated, and the 2021, I feel like it's popping out a little bit more. With this comparison, I honestly don't see any differences. And I would say when it comes to more simple colors like this, if you're doing a more cell shaded style, more simple with your colors, you can find the same results or very similar results. I actually really enjoy this piece, so it's kind of nice to see that it has the same life on both. Because the M1 iPad has such a good performance with video, I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of both of these. The M1 is reported to go to 1,000 to 16,000 nits when it's HDR content and when it's video content, so I wanted to see if that difference really made a meaningful difference. Throughout this comparison, I will be bringing the lights up and down throughout, so bear in mind it may change the way that some of the images look. Throughout this testing, I took the brightness all the way up. Immediately I noticed that with the M1 model, it's so bright, it's almost too bright. It's at a brightness that I would normally not watch a video, and I would not want my screen to be this bright. It's just way too bright for me if I'm just trying to enjoy a video. So it doesn't really represent a true experience of what I would use it for. The colors don't look very different here. Whereas some of the pieces that I showed you before, you can see a difference in the quality and some of the colors coming through in the final pieces. Because Pinterest is used so heavily with artists for reference and creative work, inspiration, I wanted to do a test and see if taking the images from Pinterest and downloading them or adding them to my library, if there was a big difference. And side by side, I don't see a difference at all. They look exactly the same. The contrast, the colors, the definition, the quality, it looks exactly the same here. I wanted to try other compositions and other lighting scenarios to see if that would change how the colors read. There was no difference here. The colors look exactly the same. I looked for some other pictures that were more high contrast to see if that would make a difference, and again, the exact same. With the XDR and some of the high definition elements with the mini LED, I just thought that it would bring out more of the colors or more vibrance here. But when it comes to these photos and the side-by-side comparison, I don't see any difference. I took it even further by taking a different complexion and trying to change it up even more to see if it would bring out other things. And with this example, they look exactly the same. Now, because I like changing the lighting scenario so much, I just thought, what would that do? Would that add any quality or take away any quality? And I didn't find that to be the case here. The photos look exactly the same, whether it's high light or low light. If you were ever thinking about the M1 iPad Pro as a viable device for your use, you've probably heard of the blooming, and I wanted to do a test here to see if the blooming made a big effect on the quality or if there was a lot of blurring, and I didn't see that at all. I know people are up in arms about how it breaks the iPad Pro, but I didn't find that to be the case here. They look exactly the same. The only time that I found a really high level of noticeable blooming is when my actual lens of my camera is blurry.